and being able to really position our services in a way that is going to be able to keep us sustainable. Okay. So with that in mind, I would like to ask the question, and please do put your videos on if you can. I don't mind if you're in your pajamas. It's an open invitation. But who has ever had one of these moments? There's little Tom and Jerry. I need to save money, says one part of you. And the other part goes, you only live once. Who's had those moments? Anyone? Yeah? Okay. What about, I really want to be healthy? And the other part goes, come on, it's okay. You can sleep in tonight. Okay. What about, I know what my purpose is. I'm going to go out and get there. And the other side of you goes, whoa, what are you thinking? Not right now. You haven't calculated. Things aren't perfect. Hold on a second. Okay. Tom and Jerry is happening constantly in our minds. It's a constant interplay of what we know to be consciously real and the subconscious. Now, I don't want to villainize the subconscious. The subconscious is your friend. Please give your subconscious a name. Something fun. Sparky, Fred, I don't know, Tom, Jerry. Give your subconscious a name. The problem is that we ignore our subconscious. And because our subconscious is nameless and faceless and figureless, it throws tantrums, takes over, and makes us do things that are not always in our best interest, or makes us act in a way that is in our best interest, but we don't recognize it and give it a medal. Okay? So whatever was top of mind in your head right now with regard to a name for your subconscious, I'm so serious about this. Please name it so that you can call it out. You can have a conversation with it. You can unpack issues with it. And so that it doesn't sit in your mind and play and play and play like a recorder and hold you back from your true purpose. Okay? So if you've ever had a moment like this, you're not alone. How's that? Everybody has had a moment like this. In fact, some of us have had moments like this, and it becomes our friend. It becomes our safety, where we go, okay, I'll just do it now, and then I'll just do it tomorrow, and then I'll start on Monday. Have you ever heard that? When are you going to start? I'll start on Monday. Why aren't we starting now? Why aren't we starting this minute? Why aren't we making gradual changes so that by Monday it is easier and more digestible? Okay. It is because there are certain things within us that are trying to protect us based on what we have experienced, learned, and absorbed in the past. Okay. Experienced, learned, and absorbed in the past. And we're going to be looking a little bit at that today. At any time during this presentation, if you do want to ask a question, if you have any lived experience, if you want to share anything, please feel free to do it, okay? This is really about you, and we want you to be able to get as much as you can from this power hour. So do it. Some of the very common things that I hear as a coach is, I've made a decision and I wouldn't have done this normally. It was impulsive. Anyone felt like that? It's an impulsive decision. Thank you, Tasha. Me too. Like I need more hands. Okay. The impulsivity that we have to act can sometimes feel like it's coming from a place that is not even us. Have you ever acted in a way where it didn't feel like you, especially in situations of maybe conflicts or discomforts or change? When you look back and you go, that really wasn't me. It really wasn't me. And then you say it so often that you start thinking, wait, was it me? No, hold on, that's Fred. Okay, that's Fred. When we start to sort of contemplate and believe the behaviors that we sometimes do, not realizing that there's a habit portion to the way that we behave as well. We always say when somebody comes in and they say, okay, I want to be more conscious, I want to make conscious wealth, I want to grow my business consciously. I say to them, do you remember the ride here to me? How many people were walking on the street? For those of you who know me, it goes back to how many sips are in a glass of water, right? But the scary thing is that some people will literally drive from place A to place B, and what's been filling their mind is things that they are worried about, stresses, things that they need to do, as opposed to things that they actually should be focusing on, which is safety and security, right? You're driving from one place to another. If you've ever felt this way, that was your subconscious. Not just knocking at the door, but kind of taking over because it understood that you had more things to do and that these things are based more on habits than on reality and needing your full consciousness in that moment. Okay. So, what do we need to know about your subconscious? Well, the shocking thing and the surprising thing is it is automatic. What does that mean when it's automatic? It means that you cannot control it. Okay. You can retrain it. You can make it feel safe enough so that it asks first. Those things you can do, but it's a knee-jerk reaction. But you can't go walking around life saying, okay, it's a knee-jerk reaction and therefore I can't do anything about it. We need to understand that our subconscious is working on what we feed it. So, have you all worked on ChatGPT? Right? It's the new rage. The limitation of ChatGPT is it can only think as far as what it has been fed. Yes? So it's not actually the best that you can produce. It's the best that someone else can produce and replicate and duplicate. And it's maybe a good starting point for certain things. But just like that, your subconscious is filled with memories, beliefs, and emotions. And here's the thing, it has unlimited space. You don't have to buy more storage. You don't. It has unlimited space. So what happens is it stores everything, everything that you see, hear, do, feel, are exposed to. But that doesn't mean that it releases everything to you. It releases things to you when it feels that you are ready to hear it, which is why sometimes we have suppressed memories. Sometimes it doesn't release things because it wants to protect you. And sometimes it releases things immediately, like you meet someone at Pick and Pay and you have no idea why, but you absolutely cannot stand next to them. You just can't. You get the heebie-jeebies. Or you meet someone that everybody loves and appreciates, but you do not connect with them. It's that gut feeling, yes? The one that we often override. 95% of our daily decisions and actions are guided by our subconscious. 95%. So I think you need to be forgiving yourself a little bit. Okay? There needs to be a level of forgiveness here. That means only 5% of our decisions and actions by default are actually made in conscious, rational, logical thought. Most of what we do is knee jerk. Do you think about how you make a cup of coffee? No. Do you think about how you tie your shoelaces? No. Okay. This is all subconscious, right? So it's not just the big stuff, it's the little stuff too. Do you think about breathing? Can you imagine if we had to think about breathing? Okay. All of these things are driving our actions and decisions every day. Now, also important to note that our subconscious also stores learned behavior, past experiences, good, bad, and everything in between, and societal programming. Right? And this means that where we live and what we do can be absorbed into our system, whether we want it or not. And this is sometimes where unconscious bias comes in. Yes? When we feel that there's just something that's not right, or we might act in a certain way. Typical example is if you grew up in a home where carbs was villainized. Who grew up in a home where carbs was villainized? I can't eat that roll. Maybe we should be careful. Okay. You will grow up, and even though consciously you know that it's not the enemy, you will still act based on what you've learned. Okay. And that societal was your family, but this extends to your meso system as well, which is outside of the family. Okay. Any questions? Everyone's very quiet. Any questions? Anything to add? Are we all good? I should say any complaints. You can let Fortunate or Tanya know. I'm on a roll here, so look at it later. Okay. Now we get to like the gritty stuff, right? How is the subconscious shaping your behavior? I want you to write down now on a piece of paper, or think about it if you are in a car like Lauren. What is your relationship with money? I want you to think about it. What is your relationship with money? Now, money is a big thing, hey? Whether you have it or whether you don't, there is a certain amount of guilt or shame associated for most people. For most people. And what happens is that when we have a preconceived idea and we have fed into the habits and we have believed that what we have heard and what we have seen and what we have experienced is reality, it can unconsciously become our reality too. Okay? What would you say if I told you that you can make R1,000,000 in a year? Who's brave enough? What would you say if I told you you can make R1,000,000 in a year? Anyone brave enough to tell us something? What would you say immediately? Don't think about it. What would be your knee-jerk reaction? You can put it into comments as well.
I would probably say impossible.
Thank you for your honesty. That's so, it's really important that we are authentic and honest with each other so we can unpack, right? So impossible. What else? You can even put it into comments. What do I need
I
to
would probably doubt it. Doubt will kick in, like doubt.
Yes. And what does doubt sound like, Fortunate? What's playing in your mind?
It sounds like you're not motivated, so you're not interested. It's just one of those, so you don't take much thought of it. It's just like, in passing. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting, right? Because
yeah.
many people will tell you that the hardest million to make is your first. Making it is not a problem, keeping it is a problem. Others will tell you. Some will tell you that, money comes to me, but it runs faster. Okay. We hear all of these kinds of comments. And I'm dealing with people who have made money from a single idea. None of them have inherited it. And there's still a sort of block when it comes to this. we need to identify what that block is. Where is it coming from? Who taught you that this is your reality? What taught you that this was impossible? And is it actually logical for the future? Not based on what's happened in the past, but is it logical for the future? Or is it worth the attempt to try your idea? Most people stop there. Okay? Same thing when we're talking about relationships. There's a preconceived idea, for example, that you can't share your idea with other people. Has anyone heard that? I shouldn't share my idea. They're going to steal my idea. The reality is that idea has been had by many people in our vast world. There's very few ideas that is unique, that we're the only ones to ever think about it. What is unique is the way we will put our spin on it. And the benefits of sharing the idea is collaboration, feedback, and buy-in. So it's almost like, what is the cost of not sharing the idea that we need to challenge our subconscious with? But challenging that subconscious is hard, right? It's hard because it's rivaling everything that we know about things like intimacy, success, even public speaking. Did you know that public speaking is the #1 fear in the whole world? It's the #1 fear. It even trumps spiders, okay, and anacondas, okay? I mean, that puts it into perspective. And why is that? Well, it means that I need to stand on a stage and I need to be vulnerable. And there's a chance that maybe people won't like what I say, that my voice won't be appreciated or heard. And we base our decision on not talking based on what could happen if we could talk. And yet, if we don't try, we won't really know. Okay? Again, your subconscious is protecting you. It's saying to you, Keshni, do you remember when you were 5 years old and you tried to talk and all the elders said, shh, you talk too much. Shh, you talk too much, not now. It's telling you, do you remember that girl in high school? The one that stabbed you in the back and stole your boyfriend? All women are like that. You can't trust females. It's telling you, remember your brother, he stole your idea and he won the first prize in the science fair. Guard your ideas. It's telling you money's hard. You have to work hard at money. You have to strive for money. It runs away from you. You have to spend your whole life trying to create an empire. It tells you all these things. But unless we really trust ourselves to test the system, we are not even tapping into 5% of the possibility of switching a little bit more of that thought process into logic. And then the question becomes, what is the price of not trying? What do I lose then? Okay. So it's very important how beliefs and programming, and I love the word programming, because programming means information has been put into me. So guess what? I can put new information in. Yay, I can be programmed. I can reprogram myself, okay? This is how we have to think. When you surround yourself with people who start to think like you and start to think about the possibilities as opposed to the obstacles, and that's what Women of Stature has done for me. It has put me in a space where, ask fortunate, ask the other ladies, where everybody is really there for the sisterhood. No one's holding on to their things for dear life. And it stretched your mind to the possibilities. You see other women excelling and you go, oh my goodness. You see the resilience of some woman, you go, oh my goodness. You see someone in need, you're like, how can I help? So surround yourself with people who are going to support you and, if possible, have been there or are halfway there, who are going to push you and challenge you. And then for your friendships, have everyone else. But if you want a mentor, if you want a coach, if you want a sponsor, it's going to have to be somebody who is going to reshape, rewire, reconfigure the program. But the good news is it is possible. I've seen it. It is possible for you to be able to look at the possibilities. And I don't mean the toxic positivity. We steer clear of that. Nobody's walking around going, it's going to be perfect, everything's going to be fine. No. But the message is, if we allow ourselves to actually go forward and try to initiate and change our inner dialogue around some of these, and if we do fall, can we fall fast? Can we fall safely? And can we fall with cheerleaders around us going, get up, it's okay, take your time. You don't have to right now. I'll sit there with you. Have we built that support system? Okay. So the resetting of this is really about, again, challenging your thought process. The most fundamental question is this fear real or is it perceived fear? This is very important. Because if it was real, then you would have evidence of it happening to you in the now, and you will be cautious of it and you will understand. But if it has been inherited, okay, or if it is perceived, your brain doesn't know the difference. So it is going to go into the same mode as it would have if something had really happened. So you can actually fail in your mind before you even execute your idea. Does this make sense? You can already preempt and bring yourself into the understanding that this is going to not work even before you launch your idea. And if you don't believe in your own ability to be able to challenge the system, then find someone else who's done it. They don't have to look like you. Remember, it's not about like and like. It's about find anyone who has done what I want to do. Find somebody who has grown something. Find somebody who has made something. Find someone who has connected. If one other person in the world can do it, then yes, I'm going to at least try, even though I know I come with my own experiences, limitations, etc. Okay? And then figure out what the reality is. And sometimes the reality is it's not a good idea. And then be brave enough to say, bye-bye, idea. Let me get something else. And that would be your subconscious. That will be holding on for dear life, saying, it's our baby. We grew it. We spent 10 hours on Canva creating it. It's on our website. We even have business cards. Right? It'll work against you, and then it'll try to protect you, and then it'll work with you. Okay? Any questions so far? Of course, here quickly. Anything anyone want to ask or say? Are we still good? Yes?
We good.
Are you
We
keeping
good.
Good.
time? Hey, I don't want to go over.
I'll try.
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ish?
Ask. Yes, Emmy, go ahead.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was voiceless.
No, I can hear you.
Listen, this is very overwhelming. Just for me, all I see is impossible.
Yes. Yes. And that is completely normal for you to feel that way in your situation or circumstance. Somebody else is feeling something different. They might be feeling exactly the same way. And I'm not saying it's not impossible as well, Emmy. you know? I'm not saying that it's always possible. I'm just saying if we're not acting because of our own thought process and like the little voice in our head, and we're just not acting at all, or we are believing that the same thing might happen based on different circumstances when we are doing something new, then that could be an obstacle. And then I would say, again, if you can't move over the obstacle yourself, find others to help you. Link arms. Say, I'm not strong enough right now to believe.
I think that's quite a big thing because, like when you're floating around and you're kind of all over. So you're right, link up, connect.
Link up. And sometimes the best people to link up with are maybe people that are like in a completely different space, area, zone, country, province, industry, okay? Because they offer really great insights. If you're talking about business, which we, talk about in Professional Collective, we say when we are immersed in the space, we start to see things in our way and according to our own bandwidth and our own understanding. But if you get somebody who runs a coffee shop and you say, hey, let me walk you through my website. Okay. Madam Coffee is going to say, that makes no sense to me. I will not come to visit you. Or they will say, yeah, I can see myself on that couch. I think you need to change this word here. I think you need to change that word there. So also be quite open. Sometimes we gravitate towards like and like, yeah? You know what I mean? It's our safety. Like if we're doing the same thing, we'll understand each other. But I personally have found absolutely amazing insights from people that were in completely different industries to the industries that I'm in. And it has changed the way that I have been able to see my own business through the eyes, not as a founder anymore, but as a potential consumer, right? And as a partner to other industries, right? So that could be an option for you. What do you say, Fortunate? Have you also seen the same sort of thing in Women of Stature?
Yes, it's a completely different, I would say, you summarize it very well. It's a different audience, if it's the right word to use, basically. So sometimes changing the audience, it's uncomfortable, but it's the best thing ever. If you just learn to be present and just embrace the new audience, because we're so used to safe spaces, and it's a good space to be in it. That I'm with Keshni. I know how she deals. I know her character. I feel safe. But sometimes platforms like this is where we actually it's a completely different audience, and we don't know each other, but we connect the synergies. And if we allow ourselves to and be present and get to know what's there's really nothing to lose. You've got absolutely nothing to lose to try something different, and that's the most scariest thing ever. Like you always say, like I think what's coming out is that the subconscious mind, and what we're learning now, it kicks in so much that it's automatically there. It's programmed, and it's a rewiring. We are learning and unlearning a lot of things that we need to unlearn, but also learning. We need to be willing to learn new things and be willing to associate ourselves with the new audience or the right audience or whatever that we may call it. So I really, really do resonate a lot.
Thank you. And often what we do is we trying to eat the elephant, okay, when we should be nibbling on the fruit next to the elephant. Okay. And don't even touch the elephant yet. If the elephant seems a bit overwhelming, because of what we believe and what we feel and what we have lived through. And remember, the subconscious does that, right? Then nibble on the fruit. So what does this look like? Let me ask you a question. If you want to go to gym every single day, what is the first habit you have to put into place?
For me, it would be waking up.
Waking up,
It's an early morning, yeah.
100%. What else?
Making
What
a
else?
definite time.
Mm.
Or
Okay, waking up at a certain time.
schedule.
Absolutely. What if I told you that an easy hack would be sleep in your gym clothes? Just saying. Sleep in
I'll
your gym
still find
clothes.
an excuse.
You might, 100%. You might. The first day, and this might or might not be my story, but the first day in gym clothes, second day replaced my really fluffy slippers with gym shoes. So in order for me to walk from here to there, I would need to obviously put on my shoes. And so, I want to do that. My feet are cold. Put on the gym shoes. Okay. First week, that's all I did. I walked around the house, dropped my kids off, came back home and did the same thing, but I did it in gym wear. Okay, good. Second week, I'm in gym wear anyway. Let me just see the route to the gym. For the next 2 weeks, all I did, and Tanya bears witness, I would drive past the gym. Tanya, I didn't realize the gym is on the way back from Rachel's school. So I was still in gym wear, in my shoes, driving past. But now something's happening to my subconscious. There's a habit being formed. First habit is I want to wear my gym clothes when I sleep. Second habit is putting on the shoes. Third habit is looking at the gym. Thereafter, I went into the gym and I set up my computer. That worked. It took me actually a total of 6 weeks from the opportunity last year when I decided to go to the gym. Mind you, my gym contract has happened for 5 years, yeah? 6 weeks to actually get onto gym equipment in the gym. But guess what? Those 6 weeks, I was building habits, hey? I was changing my mindset. I couldn't sit down. I was like, it feels kind of weird taking off the gym shoes now because they are on. Scheduling, yes, that's part of it. But sometimes it starts with just one small step, and give yourself time to build the micro habits. You are offsetting and changing a lifetime of experiences. A lifetime of experiences. Okay? It's not going to happen super quickly. So, whatever you're doing, whether it is wearing your gym clothes and sitting in front of Netflix, it is a win because you're in your gym clothes. And you celebrate that as you're munching on the pizza that you might or might not have ordered at Uber Eats. Okay? Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your goals. Understand that your subconscious is there as a little reminder of things that have happened, but it is not always a truth teller for you to prove it wrong. And finally, when I was doing an hour at the gym and I was driving home the one day, and my subconscious, the little voice was saying, just turn down this road. It's okay. You don't have to. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not. I like going to the gym. I'm one of those random people because I wasn't forced to, and I wasn't looking at it from a place of deficit. I didn't take anything away from my life. I simply added on. And sometimes that's what you need to do. Not from deficit, from a place of surplus. Okay. So procrastination is a big thing. And remember, in the middle of impossible is I'm possible, hey? Just saying.
Mm.
Okay. How the subconscious shapes our behavior. Remember, your subconscious believes what you repeat. It believes it unconsciously. I can't do it. It won't work. I won't make that money. People won't come. They won't buy my products. The more you say it, the more it believes it. So it reinforces good or bad habits. Many people don't realize what they do the first moment that they open their eyes. And so I asked them to go back and record it. For many people, they say, I wake up and I think immediately, what do I need to do for the day? That is not an ideal situation to be in. Some people wake up and they immediately jump out of bed, run into the shower, make a cup of coffee. Okay? So we're not saying change that. What I'm saying is when you create new habits, it might simply mean that when you open your eyes and when you hear the first thing in your mind, you say to yourself, I'm going to sit here and simply count to 10 before I jump out or think anything. 1, 2, 3. And you have now gained 10 seconds of clarity. Sometimes it starts there. Because remember, if you are going to sleep stressing, and your sleep is disrupted with stressing, and you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you think about is your stressor, you are living in the cycle. Okay? And the act of protection becomes an act of hindrance. So if it believes what you repeat, then I wonder what would happen if we repeated good things. It might be possible as a start. It is possible, I'm not sure when, as a start. I can try one small thing today that is different as a start, as long as you do it consistently. So when you start a new habit, please don't start it and expect to perfect it, yes? Start one thing today and do it. A simple thing is like, I will read 1 page a day. 1 page. I'm not asking you to read a chapter. 1 page a day. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it every single day, consciously. And eventually, when you get to bed, you'll start looking for your book. And organically, you will read more. You will read a chapter. You might read 2 chapters. But it takes that period of realignment and consciousness and working through the what ifs to actually get us to where we need to be. Okay? So it says that it takes about 21 days to form a new habit, but we know that it takes about 300 days to keep a new habit, right? Repetition is key. Forming a new habit is only 21 days. People get confused that that means perfecting a new habit. That's not the same thing. Forming a new habit, accepting the new habit takes 21 days. But recognizing and understanding that habit to the point that you do it organically and that you just comes from you, it becomes unconscious, it takes a long time. And what you're doing every single time you form a new habit is you are carving new pathways for these amazing soldiers in your brain. And you are teaching them how to strengthen the pathways with repetition. And what happens then is, as you do the new things, the old pathways that didn't serve you again, those are weakening. As long as you're not reinforcing them as actively as you did this one before. And that is the power of maybe not removing. I'll never say I can't do it again. It's too hard. Maybe every time you say I can't do it, you counter it with, but maybe I can tomorrow. What habit do I need to do right now to make that a possibility? Neuroplasticity is happening all the time. Our brain has the amazing ability, of course, outside of any illnesses or conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. But it's creating new pathways all the time. It's providing us with opportunities to think different, act different, behave different. But sometimes we don't necessarily know. So you listen to your body, listen to what your body is telling you when it's hinting that maybe this could be a possibility. So in the comments, write down, what do you do the first thing in the morning? Okay. You can either put it down there. If it's reaching for the phone, type it out. If it's going to the bathroom with the phone, type it out. So you're going to put that down there. Hey. Gratitude.
Yeah, it is the phone, Tanya. Right.
As long as that gratitude is not on the phone. A lot of us, we want to meditate and all of that, but we do it on the phone. So actually our first habit, our first pathway is
Nice
grab
one,
your
Anusha.
phone. Okay, which is quite interesting. Good. So now you can see and you can learn from each other as well what people do the first thing that they get up in the morning, the first thing as they open their eyes in the morning, and you can cultivate these, right? However, some of you give the puppies love. The puppies come on the phone first. Phone, we say, yeah, Tasha says gratitude, meditate, making some tea and enjoying the peace. That's a good one. Go to the bathroom. Yes, actually, the first thing that you all do is you open your eyes, hey? I'm just
True.
saying. So maybe we start a little bit when we open our eyes before we go into our gratitude practice, before we grab our phone, we open our eyes. And if it's not a morning that we feel like, first habit is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to open my eyes again and just be open to the possibilities. Okay? Maybe that's the first habit. Okay? Because that is the first thing that you do before you do anything else. All right. So if we're getting really, really now down to it, do not forget your little helpers, your happiness chemicals. We hear a lot about them. Your dopamine, my goodness. This is flashed all over dopamine, 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 dopamine. What we are forgetting is dopamine is the excitement, the motivation. It is pleasure. Pleasure short-lived. Don't chase the dopamine. Invite the dopamine, love the dopamine, celebrate the dopamine. But we should be chasing the serotonin. Longer to achieve, but happiness. We should be building the oxytocin. I know it's called the love hormone, but every time someone makes eye contact with you and they smile, you get a dose of oxytocin. Every time someone reaches out and touches you kindly, you get a dose of oxytocin. Every time someone sends you a sweet message and says thank you, you get a dose of oxytocin, a little bit of dopamine, and it contributes to your serotonin level. Remember that without these little moments that you can cultivate, your feelings can manifest into physical pain. Your subconscious says, whoa, stop. Your body goes, we are not moving. We've been whispering to you, and now for 3 weeks, you will not be able to work. It's okay. Be kind to yourself. Understand that empires were not built in a day, and yours won't be either. Understand that you're still a work in progress. Understand that you need to redefine what success is for you and redefine success markers at every little goal point. And don't forget to really celebrate every tiny victory as much as you dwell on every tiny failure. Has to be equally proportionate. Okay. Now, oh, Fortune. This is the last slide that I'm leaving you with. And I want you to think about this a little. This is a very useful habit-forming activity that we do, and it helps you to unpack. So after this, if you were to close your eyes and if you were to think about what one habit do I need to change today that will have an impact on my tomorrow? What small habit would I like to change today that would have an impact on my tomorrow? And I want you to think broad, and I want you to think external, and I want you to think, really, yes, it's about you, but it's also about everything that is around you. And if you were like me and you decide the one thing that I would like to do is a moment to myself where my body, my mind, and my soul is doing something that's good, and that I can just feel like I'm doing something for myself, and believe it or not, that's gym, then I would write it down. Then I would write down all my doubts. Why can't I? What will people say? I don't have an outfit. It's so cold outside. I haven't washed my shoes. Maybe I'll start next week. It's too busy this week. I'll write all of that down. Then I'm going to thank my subconscious. I'm going to say, thank you, subconscious, for trying to protect me. Thank you. Thank you for giving me all these doubts. I accept that you have given them to me. And then I'm going to unpack every doubt. And I'm going to say to myself, let's look at it rationally with the conscious mind. I'm inviting my conscious mind in. I'm saying, okay, Kirshni, yes, it is a little bit earlier, but can you do it? Yes, I can. Can you do it every day? No, I can't. Okay, let's start with 2 days a week. Okay, that's it. Now, what happens is that when you write it all down, you will be able to see all the things that your subconscious has put in front of you. So take each one of those and say, if it is, I can't wake up earlier, each one of those, guess what we ask ourselves? What would I like to do today to change that doubt? And you go linear and linear and linear, more internally, step into it, and you keep going around in these concentric circles until you find the actual core of what's holding you back. And sometimes that core of what's holding you back is really something that is tangible, that is real, that you can't move towards today. Don't force yourself, be kind to yourself, and then say, okay, I'm going to make the decision then to leave this here with this goal, with this habit, and I'm going to look at something that I can do today. I'm going to look at a quick win, and I'm going to choose something that I can then do consistently. Remember, life is not a race, it is a journey. 95% of what we do is beyond our control, and yet we are held accountable for it. So as we become more conscious and as we move forward and we think to ourselves, is this something that's coming out of me, or is this something that's coming for me? We're able to better understand exactly what's holding us back, keeping us safe, or maybe it's something that doesn't even exist anymore in our realm of reality. Okay? So, be friends with your subconscious. Name her or him, gender fluid, okay? Name them in whichever way that you can. And I'm going to invite you today as you leave to draw what your subconscious looks like. Make them any kind of color you want. Are they fluffy? Are they rigid? Do they have glasses? Take it out and put it on a piece of paper so that you understand that you need to work together. We have some names there. Do we have any questions about what we've learned today? Questions or comments? Pixie, Martha, I like them. Mine's is Steve, just so you all know. My subconscious is Steve.
It's who?
Any
Steve.
Steve,
Bead. Okay. Bead.
like Steve.
Okay.
So that's
Sparkles.
me, Fortunate. Thank you so much for hosting for hosting the Unprofessional Collective. I hope that it has helped you all. And
Yeah.
Fortunate, thank you for the opportunity again. I do appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. I think everyone here can attest. Actually, I would like to give, is there anyone who would like to say anything, what you've learned? Just a quick one before we close, just to give everyone okay, Tanya, your voice is still in recovery. We get that. Noted, my lady. But is there anyone who'd like to share what we've learned? Maybe some inputs. I mean, what's outstanding for me? I need to name my subconscious. I need to give it a name. So I might steal some few here. Sparkles, Pixie, Steve. So that's refreshing. It's like so refreshing, and I'm looking forward to that, and to have a relationship and be kind to our goals. Just to be kind to ourselves. We take in a lot, so for me it was really awesome. Thank you, Keshni. But I want to extend this platform to other ladies just to share a bit of what they've learned or any inputs quickly.
Thank you. Thank you, Keshni. That was really very valuable. It's one thing I've realized, but from listening to you, is that I don't have patience with myself. And that's what I think after this session, I'm going to try working on that.
Wow,
Thank you for sharing, Anusha. That's amazing.
that's
Keshni,
really amazing.
Keshni, thank you again for a wonderful session. All the sessions that I have with you or where I'm with you, it's just amazing. Something that I have come to learn in some of our sessions and again today is the rewiring of the limiting beliefs. And that is something that I've had a habit of in the last 3 weeks, just to rewire my belief system that's been ingrained from my grandparents even. And this session tonight, thank you very much, it's really just reiterated where, especially when it comes to money, where that belief system has come from. So thanks for the extra light bulbs again tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just remember, money goes where money flows, and money goes where it feels safe. Okay. Just remember that.
Anyone else perhaps who likes to share something before we close? Are we all good?
All good. Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for everything. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, my lady. I mean, you joined from the car. That's commitment. That's like a absolutely amazing.
I brought my son for soccer training, so I didn't want to miss it.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. Awesome. So thank you, everybody. Kishnis, do you have any last words in closing? I know you closed already, but just from me, from my side, thank you for showing up. I think these sessions are equally important. We need to really do more often of these. I know it's late, but once in a while, it kicks in. We reset the rewiring and the inspiration. It just, it's just going back to the drawing board of we're not taking care of ourselves. What is it that we need to do so that that wholeness kicks in? It's all these basic things that we're learning in these power hour sessions. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, ladies, and have a really, really lovely evening. And over to you, Keshni, again. Your last word.
Thank you, Fortunate. I think I'll leave you with this. It's something that I heard that I've been working with for a long time. And what it says is, and it's in context of parents and children, but you use it how you feel. The people around you and your children will not treat themselves the way you treat them. The people around you and your children will treat themselves the way you treat yourself. So be kind to yourself. There's only one of you, and you are magnificent, unique, beautiful, and born to create. And I'm wishing all of you an amazing evening. and amazing businessness. Good night, everyone.
Hi, thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.